All right, let's talk about something that costs companies billions of dollars. And is probably the real reason you can't find your favorite products on the shelf. It's this hidden force in our economy called the bullwhip effect. And trust me, once you understand what it is, you'll never look at a store shelf the same way again.
You know that feeling, right? You go to the store, you're looking for that one specific snack, that one brand of coffee, and the shelf is totally bare. And you're thinking, wait, I know this is popular, but is everyone buying it all at once? It seems so random. Well, that weirdly frustrating shortage, it's almost always caused by this invisible force that's just wreaking havoc behind the scenes. And yeah, that force has a name, the bullwhip effect. The name is just perfect. Seriously, picture someone cracking a whip. It starts with this tiny, almost effortless flick of the wrist, right? But that small motion creates this huge, powerful wave that travels all the way to the tip. That's exactly what happens in a supply chain. A tiny little change in what we, the customers, are buying, that's the flick of the wrist. And it creates these absolutely massive, chaotic swings for the people who actually make the stuff. And look, this isn't some abstract business school theory. This is real-world stuff. So get this, back in the 90s, Procter & Gamble was totally stumped. They're looking at sales for Pampers diapers, and they're thinking, okay, babies use diapers at a super predictable rate, right? It's not a seasonal product. But the orders they were getting from their distributors, they were completely all over the map. One month, a massive spike. The next, a total crash. They were watching the bullwhip effect happen in real time, and it was costing them an absolute fortune. Okay, so how on earth does this actually happen? How does a nice, steady stream of parents buying diapers turn into this crazy tidal wave of orders for the manufacturer? To figure that out, we have to follow the signal, or maybe the missed signal, as it travels up the supply chain. This chart really nails it. So look, it all starts down here with us, the customer. Our demand is like a small, pretty predictable wave. But then the retailer, they see that and they think, better order a little extra just in case, don't want to run out. So their order is a slightly bigger wave. The manufacturer sees that bigger wave and they overreact even more to be safe. And by the time that signal gets all the way up to the raw material supplier, that tiny little ripple from you and me has turned into an absolute tsunami of an order. So you're probably thinking, this seems unbelievably inefficient. And it is. So why does it keep happening? Well, it turns out the bullwhip isn't just one single mistake. Nope, it's actually a handful of really common, everyday business practices that just stack on top of each other and make the problem worse. So let's break it down. There are basically 5 main culprits we need to talk about. We're going to see how bad forecasts start this whole domino effect. We'll look at how ordering in big batches creates these artificial lumps in demand, how sales and discounts completely distort what's really happening, how the fear of running out leads to straight-up panic buying, and then the one big thing that connects them all, a total lack of information sharing. All right, first up, forecasting. And here's the absolute key to understanding this. Each person in that supply chain, they aren't looking at you, the person actually buying the product. Nope, the manufacturer is just looking at the orders they get from the wholesaler. And the wholesaler, they're just looking at the orders from the retailer. It's literally a game of telephone. And you know how that goes, right? With every single step, the message gets a little more distorted, a little more exaggerated, and the errors just pile up. Then you've got price fluctuations, sales and promotions. Think about it from your perspective. You see a buy one, get one free deal. Of course you're going to stock up. It's just smart shopping. But now let's flip it and look at it from the supplier's point of view. All they see is that demand just spiked by 300% overnight. They have no idea it's just a temporary blip because of a sale. So they react like it's the new normal and crank up production, creating this massive, totally artificial surge. And there's more stuff that just pours fuel on this fire. You've got order batching. That's when companies place huge, infrequent orders just to save on shipping costs. But that creates these giant, artificial spikes instead of a nice, smooth flow. And then there's something called shortage gaming. This is wild. If a company gets a hint that a product might run out, they'll order way more than they actually need, just to be safe. And that creates a panic that just shoots right up the supply chain. But really, all of these problems boil down to one thing: poor communication. Everyone is acting like they're on their own little island, basically just guessing in the dark. Okay, so what's the actual damage here? What happens when that bullwhip finally cracks? Let me tell you, the fallout from all this volatility and miscommunication is it's really bad, and it hits the bottom line hard. The damage is just everywhere. On one hand, you've got warehouses completely stuffed with products nobody wants, which means you're paying a ton for storage. But on the other hand, the shelves are empty of the stuff people are actually trying to buy. So you get angry customers, your factories are either sitting idle one week or they're paying for crazy amounts of overtime the next. It's pure chaos. And the end result? Lost sales, lost profits. It is quite literally the worst of all possible worlds. But here's the good news. This isn't some unsolvable law of physics. Companies absolutely can tame the bullwhip. It's not easy, though. It requires a huge mental shift, from everyone just reacting on their own island to everyone collaborating and sharing information. So let's dive into how they actually do that. So, how do you do it? How do you take that wild, chaotic wave at the end of the supply chain and get it back under control? How do you smooth it out? Well, the answer is surprisingly simple, at least in theory. Putting it into practice, that's the tricky part. The number one single most powerful solution is transparency. It's all about ending that game of telephone. Instead of just passing orders up the chain, you share the real live sales data from the checkout counter, what we call point of sale data, with everyone in the chain. Imagine that. The person supplying the raw materials can see, in real time, what you and I are actually buying the second we buy it. And this is precisely what Walmart did. They pioneered this whole idea with partners like Procter & Gamble. Walmart basically just handed P&G the keys to their data kingdom. Suddenly, P&G could see exactly how many diapers were sold in which store on what day. It let them completely bypass all the guesswork and the distorted forecasts. They could finally manage their inventory based on what was actually happening, not what they thought was happening. Now, of course, sharing data is huge, but it works even better when you combine it with some other smart moves. For instance, stabilizing prices. You know Walmart's whole everyday low pricing thing? That gets rid of those crazy sales that make customers buy a year's supply at once. You also want to encourage smaller, more frequent orders to smooth things out. And then there are these formal systems. They've got a fancy name, CPFR, that basically get everyone in the supply chain to work together on one single game plan. No more surprises. Okay, so that's a lot of different strategies. How can we boil this all down into something that's actually easy to remember? Well, there's a pretty simple framework that really captures the heart of how you fight the bullwhip effect. It's all about the 4 R's. Pretty easy, right? First, you reduce uncertainty. You do that with data. Second, you replenish more frequently in smaller batches. Third, you reinforce collaboration with all of your partners. And finally, number 4, you build a system that can respond with real agility when demand actually does change. When you really think about it, the lesson of the bullwhip effect is so much bigger than just supply chains. It's a powerful reminder that in any complex system, whether it's a business, an economy, or even just a group of friends, poor communication and our tendency to overreact can take tiny, manageable little signals and blow them up into huge, really damaging problems. So I'll leave you with this question. Now that you know what you're looking for, where do you see the bullwhip effect hiding? Is it happening in your company? In your entire industry? What about in your own life? Think about how a small rumor can get blown way out of proportion. Because here's the thing. Once you learn to see the bullwhip effect, you start seeing it absolutely everywhere.